People in Houston say no to a dangerous bathroom bill. This is the CitizenLink Report. Hi, I'm Kim Trobee, and today I'm joined by Jonathan Saenz. He's the president of Texas Values. It's one of CitizenLink's nearly 40 state-based family policy groups. Jonathan, it is great to have you here.
Well, what an honor to be here with you, Kim. The partnership that Texas Values has with CitizenLink is so important, and that's what helps us be the most effective statewide organization in Texas for faith, family, and freedom.
Well, we really enjoy the partnership with you guys, and because you do a lot of really great work. On Tuesday, for instance, you worked with a coalition of people to defeat a bill that would have allowed men to enter women's restrooms, locker rooms, really any public accommodation. Tell me more about that defeat.
Absolutely. Well, the people of Houston, the voters, sent a very clear message with a landslide victory, voting down the bathroom bill with a count of 61-39. That was the percentage. I mean, this is historic. It's epic. Going into this issue, and just so people know, this is a law that was over 25 pages long, one of the most aggressive pieces of legislation on this issue, that just to get to the ballot box was a struggle and was an effort that went on for a year and a half. And so finally, when the people of Houston, a diverse group of people throughout the city of Houston, were allowed to vote, they sent a very resounding message that they were in favor of common sense, of safety, and freedom. And that matches up just right with the values that our organization stands for.
Now, Mayor Annise Parker, she's the mayor of Houston. She had worked very hard to get this passed, and she's been pretty vocal in her condemnation of the defeat. Tell me who the players are in this and why she's so upset by this.
Sure. Well, this really started almost 2 years ago when Mayor Annise Parker, who's an open lesbian, announced after her re-election that she was going to push some legislation of this type, because this issue had happened in San Antonio, and we had fought a battle there, and people were very concerned about this issue. So she decided to champion it, but then fast forward to May, people weren't aware of it. She tried to fast track it through the legislative process and city council. It became very divisive, was very controversial, and then there was a lot of controversy about people getting to speak at city council meetings and through that process. And so ultimately, even though there was all of this opposition, I mean, our organization alone had over 100,000 emails sent to the city of Houston with over a week time. They blocked our system from sending emails. We were having such an impact. And so, but after that, it was passed. And so people said, you know what, we want this on the ballot. And so our organization and others engaged in a very robust and aggressive manner to get signatures to get the ordinance on the ballot. And the mayor again jumped in and tried to thwart our efforts and broke the law, actually. She tried to throw out almost 2/3 of the signatures because we got 3 times the amount of signatures we needed to get on the ballot, just to make sure that was right. We had to go all the way up to the Texas Supreme Court to get a decision to make sure that the mayor would not continue to disenfranchise voters and break the law. And with a unanimous victory, 9-0, the Texas Supreme Court said this issue would go on the ballot. But throughout that process, you have to recall, this is the issue that led to Mayor Parker subpoenaing the sermons of pastors, the Houston Five. So you had people in Houston working on this for a year and a half. So you got the Houston Area Pastors Council, my good friend Dave Welch. You've got people on the ground with the Coalition of African American Pastors. You had the Hispanic Action Network. You had people like Jared Woodfill, who was very influential in the community and is a board member of ours that was active on the issue there locally. But then you had national groups. You had Focus on the Family. You had CitizenLink. You had Family Research Council. A lot of people getting involved. And what's interesting is that issue, when the pastor's sermons were subpoenaed, people realized, wait a minute, this mayor will not even respect the First Amendment. And so it became an even bigger issue for people to realize she doesn't even want us to vote on this. And if she won't respect the First Amendment rights of pastors, will she respect any law? And so it was obvious that she was not concerned either about the safety of women and children.
Well, one thing that our viewers need to know is that Mayor Annise Parker is term limited out. She just has 2 more weeks in office. Is that correct? And then there will be an election. Tell me about the election
right.
and who's in that.
And let's not go to sleep on Mayor Annise Parker, if you will, because in those last few weeks that she's in office, I'm certain she's determined to do everything she can to try to continue to get her way. One of the most striking moments during the city council hearings is when the mayor tried to say that they were pushing this ordinance to protect against racial discrimination. But a lot of African American leaders came to the mic and said, wait a minute, you never asked for our input on this issue. You never tried to bring us in from the beginning. The mayor was using people of color. She was using African Americans, people like me that are Hispanic and have a long heritage in the state of Texas. She was trying to say that she was trying to protect us, even though she never came to any of us as leaders. And so she finally admitted, when it got real interesting and conflicting and divisive, she said, you know what, this is about me. And we finally heard the truth. And that's what you're seeing now. Now that she has been saddled with a very stinging, shocking, stunning defeat. I mean, that's what the Human Rights Campaign said. This was stunning, this election outcome, because they certainly thought they were going to win. And they outspent our side 4-1. So even still today, the mayor is showing that it's about her, because in the speech she gave the election night, she made it very clear that it was, a bunch of people's fault. She was pointing fingers at everyone and made it clear she was going to continue to fight on this issue, and actually sending the message, leading to rumors that she may try to revive this ordinance in the last few weeks that she's in office. But in regards to the election, you've now got two candidates moving forward. You got Sylvester Turner, and you also have Bill King. Now, what we know is Sylvester Turner, going into the runoff, has said that he is in favor of this failed bathroom ordinance. And so what we're hearing is Bill King, the other candidate, is not supportive of the ordinance, even though he hasn't been all that vocal on the issue like some other people have. And so, the voters have a clear choice. There's one candidate that supports the ordinance and very strongly supports the ordinance, Sylvester Turner, and one, Bill King, who is opposed to the ordinance. And so I think that's going to be one of the most important questions on the minds of voters in Houston going into this runoff election in the second week of December.
Well, Jonathan, we don't often get our state family policy presidents here on set with us, and it's always a treat to have you. You're just so well-spoken, and you're just so knowledgeable about the issues and what you're doing, and it's just a pleasure to have you here with us.
Well, it's great to be here. And look, this is not the first time that I have gone up against the government in Houston and won. When I was a law student at the University of Houston, I led a pro-life group, and the dean of students tried to restrict our free speech rights. If you can imagine being a law student and suing your university, that was quite an experience. But that's what solidified to me that this was the type of work that I wanted to do moving forward. And we had victory against the University of Houston on that issue. We had victory for the voters on this issue on the bathroom bill. And so I believe moving forward that we'll continue to have victory if people will just stand up, be confident in what they believe in, and not yield their principles.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much. You can learn more about Jonathan, the president of Texas Values, and what they're doing at the State Family Policy Council. He's in the November edition of Citizen magazine. It's a great article and one I know you will enjoy reading. Remember, we love hearing from you. You can always contact us at mail@citizenlink.com. Please continue to pray for our elected officials and for our nation. And while you're at it, pray for the leaders of our state family policy councils. They do a lot of hard work, and they can always use the prayer support. And remember, stand tall and be heard.